Good morning, YouTube. What a lovely day it is. Today we're on Thorsday and we're again looking for strength for runners. We've done quite a lot of things which are working on things that you can do at home. So today I thought we'd start looking at things with weights that you can do now. The gyms are back open now, lockdown is semi-finished, depending on where you are in the world, depending on where you are in the country. So today we're going to be using kettlebell and we're going to be looking at the basics of deadlifting. Deadlifting is quite an important thing in terms of running and also in terms of general everyday life, because we want to be able to lift things safely and happily. Safely is maybe the wrong word. We want to be able to lift things efficiently and well. There's no danger in lifting things in any particular way. You just might end up making muscles more sensitive and hence more painful. So today we're going to see if we can lift the weight intelligently so that we can do it over and over again, increasing strength in the legs. Now, some people will say, well, when you're running, you're tending to be on one leg at a time, right? You're kind of hopping between each leg. So why bother strengthening both legs at the same time in terms of deadlifts or indeed squats? The reason for this is because although I might be able to lift a certain amount of weight on one leg, it is certainly not even half that I can lift with two. And so in order to strengthen both legs to the maximum amount, we want to be lifting as heavy as possible, and in order to do that, we're going to be doing that with both legs. That will strengthen your single leg abilities as well as your double leg abilities. So, without further ado, I'll put my coffee down and we'll have a look at deadlifts. You will tend to find with lifting and deadlifting, if you ask somebody to pick something up, they will tend to do this. They'll just come down like this and pick it up like that. Now, in the grand scheme of things, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. My spine hasn't just kind of pinged off the wall. It's not a dangerous thing to do because I have the requisite strength in the muscles around my spine to be able to bend down and come back up again. However, the muscles in the spine are not necessarily as big as the muscles around your glutes and your legs. And so it tends to be more efficient over a long period of time for a greater weight to be coming down like this with your back in an isometric, so it's not moving. Iso is same and metric is length, so we want your back to be staying in the same length all the way down and all the way up. It doesn't want to lengthen and then contract, okay? So an isometric contraction through your back as you come down with your hips and your knees, which are the ones which are bending, grab hold of the weight and come back up again. That is your basic deadlift, just down like that. Notice this back is not moving anywhere at all in terms of lengthening and shortening. You're just staying in the same kind of movement, it's the same place going up and down. All the movement is going from my hips and my knees. In those terms, sometimes you'll find your hips, your knees do not go all the way down. You'll get to a certain position and then your back will extend because your hips don't come down any further. That's not a problem until you start kind of going heavier and heavier, and then at that point, right at the very bottom of the lift, you're having to lift with your back first before the rest of your legs and knees can catch up with it. And so that is something you can practice getting into a nice low position without this movement here through your back. So it is not only a lift, but it's also I hate to say this, it's almost a flexibility exercise. But there we go. If you want to do it heavier, but don't yet have that requisite flexibility through your hips and knees, you can raise the weight up slightly on something. So you can then, let's just get hold of this. So we can put the weight on there. So we can then lift it from a slightly higher position so that my back is certainly not going down to where I can't, I can't get down to it. So I need to be at the right place in order to pick it up. Now, an important thing, I realise that this is going on a little bit long at the moment, an important thing here is with the kettlebell, the weight is directly between my legs here, okay? And so I'm lifting it in a nice straight fashion up through there. If you were to do it with a bar, the bar would be in front of you, which puts a different position into your back because you have to drag it up your knees past your thighs. That's a completely different, not a completely different thing, but it's a slightly different thing in terms of where the weight is being put on your, through your spine and through your legs. We'll deal with that another day. What I want you to concentrate on for the moment is coming down, finding that kettlebell, coming back up again, keeping your back in a nice isometric pattern. I'm not going to specify weights. This one here is a 16. You can go with whatever you wish. Be sensible about it. If you wake up the next morning with ache in your back and ache in your glutes, you've probably been doing it right. If you wake up the next morning with delayed onset muscle soreness in your back and in your glutes, you've almost certainly done it right. It's just you've done it slightly too heavy and it's something that you're not used to yet. Not a problem. Get on with life, deal with it, and then come back and do some more at some point later on. If you want to talk about sets and reps, we can talk about that in the comments. If you like this video, then like it, subscribe. If you've got any other things you want me to have a look at, please do. I think in the next few weeks we're going to be looking at squats and Romanian deadlifts, stiff-legged deadlifts, and other bits and pieces like that. So till then, have a great week, enjoy your running, and I will speak to you soon. Take care.